Sam Harris created quite a stir with his first book, End of Faith, which argued that religious faith is the most dangerous element in modern life. His follow-up, Letter to a Christian Nation, is his response to the letters he received from Christians pointing out exactly how wrong they believe he is. Sam, thank you for joining us today to talk about these explosive topics.
Well, thanks for having me.
Tell us about the connection between the two books.
Well, in The End of Faith, my first book, I argued that there really is a very deep link between religion and violence. I argued that our world has been shattered quite unnecessarily by competing religious orthodoxies, incompatible religious certainties that have divided our world into separate moral communities. So we have Christians against Muslims, against Jews, and basically what I argue is that there really is no end game here, that this is a terrible situation that we have to fundamentally transcend. And because I published this book in a country, our own, where 83% of the people believe that Jesus literally rose from the dead, most of the criticism I received was from Christians. And this came in torrents by email mostly, and I began to respond to this criticism and kind of went to school on this correspondence and realized I could write just a very short book, but a very long letter to committed Christians in our society, and so that became my second book.
You blame many of the world's problems on organized religion. Tell us why that is.
45% of us think Jesus is going to come back and save the day sometime in the next 50 years. This is a shocking fact, and of course this belief is knit together with a variety of other beliefs, all of which are incompatible with finding any motive to create a durable future for our species, a sustainable civilization geopolitically, economically, environmentally. I mean, if you think the world is going to end in 50 years, and it is going to end gloriously, and its ending is going to be the best thing that could ever possibly happen, that is a bad piece of software to be running if you have to make decisions about nuclear first strike policy. We really do have people believing dangerous things that are presenting obstacles to medical research, for instance. The president just used his first veto to block stem cell research, which is indisputably the most promising area of biology to generate medical therapies for dozens of conditions.
You really seem to think that the countries in Western Europe, which have less religious fervor, have really gotten it.
The most atheistic societies on the planet, societies like Norway and Denmark and Iceland and Sweden, these are the healthiest places to live by really every relevant factor: violent crime, gender equality, educational attainment, per capita income, infant mortality. American teens are 70 times more likely to have gonorrhea than their French counterparts living in a comparatively atheistic France. So this idea that somehow high levels of religious literalism guarantee a kind of public morality and societal health appears to be an absolute fantasy, and it's even a fantasy within the United States. The most religious states, the most religious cities, are not the places where you see the lowest violent crime or even the lowest divorce. It's quite to the contrary.
So what is your goal with Letter to a Christian Nation?
It's really to start a conversation. It is to throw off this taboo that keeps us from honestly challenging people's religious certainties.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for discussing your controversial and informative book today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.